Morning. Thought maybe we might go on a little tour today, check out some artwork. So step inside and let's see what we can see today. Uh, Here in Florida, it's a beautiful morning. Pretty sunny out. Uh, got a little tank here I've been working on for a few months. Still could use another sand. Got a couple of issues still like to work out. This motorcycle tank started off in bare metal. Got primer from House of Color, as well as some Silver Max for a base. And from there we go with some clear coat, some sanding, and we start our tape design. And we start airbrushing. A long process. This has got about 3 to 4 months in it. So this is our little storage space. Slash studio. Here's a skeleton that you can find at Home Depot around Halloween time. This was done a few years ago. Same thing, House of Color primer, Silver Max, candies, and some metal flake from Paint Huffer, as well as some eye candy pigments that you can mix in a colorless binder, epoxy resin, or even a clear coat. If we step inside, maybe swing around this way, this mannequin here, that was done with Createx water-based paints, some freehand airbrush. It started off as a mannequin that got thrown over the fence at my mom's place in Warren, where I built out the first studio I was talking about. Talked to the neighbor, had a fun conversation about it, and was like, "Look, dude, now that it went over the fence, it's a fair game, and I'm gonna paint it." So I used some body filler, sanded it down a little bit, left some texture on it, wanted it to have more texture, and then we started painting. Let's see if we can get in here close. Couple badges from Coast Airbrush from doing classes out there. I don't know if you caught my first video, but I was talking about going out there and taking classes with Steve Gibson from Air, Oil, and Lead. And then the second go round was Armando and Bugs for Lowrider Graphics. Pan down a little, see if we can get some other stuff in here. Some of these skeletons, you can buy those at Home Depot as well. That was my full-time job in Michigan when not painting on the side. But they're done with House of Color, primer, Silver Max, and candies. Some stencils, some freehand work, some brush work. My homie fell in Detroit. What's up, brother? If you're out there, one of his prints that we have here in the studio. This is a full-size LPH 400 for spraying base, clear coat. I use it for primer too, but I'd rather have a second primer gun. But you make investments and you get what you can and you work with what you got. Right? Couple of airbrushes. The late Mike. This is the flamethrower edition. Also, available at Coast. When I first got out of school, Coast Airbrush was one of the places that I would tune into their live feeds and watch some of the pros doing techniques and other videos on some of the projects they were working on. So throughout the years, I was following their live feeds, purchasing products, and then eventually the opportunity and the financing came to go out there and take some classes with the pros. So if you get a chance to do a 4-day class somewhere, I highly recommend it. It's the knowledge that's out there, the artist vibe, and just the general travel is a win. Here's my paint cabinet that's been accumulating different products. Right now we have House of Color, candy concentrates, Steve's grayscale, some reducer, clear coat. Let's see, we got our Vision Air tank rotisserie right here. Haven't been able to use it lately. The Frisco tank that I do have, that I was showing you over there, didn't quite fit, so we had to use the other motorcycle stand that we had. So here's some of the different products from House of Color. Some catalyst to go into some clear coat, some rattle can 2K clear, which I had a little experience at Brush Fest. So we picked that up to see if we could give that a spin over some panels and some other artwork, see if we could practice doing a little pinstriping. Picked up some actual pinstriping paint from Alpha, out of Detroit. So luckily we had a bunch of pinstripers there, so they were more than willing to share some knowledge and some techniques on, different basic pinstriping fundamentals. So we have some brushes here. Let's see if we can crack this bad boy open. Alright, so we have some MAC lettering brushes, a couple of Todd Hansen's pinstriping brushes, Kafka, the number escapes me, number 3, sorry, scrolling brush. Got some recommendations from McKeg Art and Bugs. Well, on the West Coast, little shout to McKeg Art and his black that we picked up. If you get a chance, go check out his channel or his artwork. See if we got some Darren's stickers here and here. There's some Gibson's right here and here as well. Over here we have a wall control unit. They come in different panels. They have different setups, I guess you could say. The couple of speed shapes. So when you're testing out some colors, you lay down some primer, some base coat, candy, and then a clear coat. This was a custom mix that I was trying out. So let's see if we can get it out here in the sun. the basic concept is you spray out your speed shapes first to see how the colors are going to lay out and what kind of reflections you're going to get. Then you take that and work on a motorcycle tank or anything automotive. Some FBS tape for tape design and masking. Down here we have a bunch of eye candy pigments, the micas. So a couple boxes in here. Here's some of that product used on a plaster cast. So these plaster casts are available at Pacific Mold Design out on the West Coast. They have a couple different forms. What you call it? They have some plastic ones, and then they have some silicone ones for doing three-dimensional work. Here's a little box of some eye candy pigments. They have sample sets. A little shameless plug. If you'd like to try some of their products, you can use the affiliate link for Gorilla Air Studios. I get a little kickback, and you get a couple bucks off. So let's see if we can find something that was done with that. This is another 3D plaster cast that was primer, base coat, some airbrush work from Iwata are the tools that I'm using, and then some chameleons in the eyes that I mixed, as well as epoxy resin from Alumilite and some powder pigments used to do the epoxy work. It's a little tight in here. Some resin on some recycled materials made out of wood. Down here, my little portable toolbox from Husky and some mixed colors. Some field notes for whatever kind of journaling you want to do. Maybe make yourself some notes. See if we can take a little spin in here. Relentless Betrayal. If you're into pirate shit, check them out. Some more skulls painted. Tank blank. So sprayed with some Soylent Green from Paul Cox, available over at Paint Huffer. Let's see if we can get some sunshine on this bad boy. And some Metal Flake from Paint Huffer as well. Sprayed with some House of Color Clear. Sorry, the sunshine is giving me some problems on the video end here. And we're still trying to get the hang of this vlogging style with this cell phone. Alright, what else we got in here in the studio? A helmet. Over at Lowbrow. Same concept. Start with a primer, sand it. Base coat of Silver Max, clear coat, sand, start tape design, as well as airbrush work. Come in with your candies. Which are, once the concentrates are mixed up, put them in some little plastic bottles like so. Little portable speaker. Our Iwata studio compressor, which is portable. You could take on a job, or you can run 2 airbrushes or a minigun. So here's a minigun from Iwata. Another Black Ops edition. This is the Doug Door little monster color. It also has a nice texture, so that's good. So it's less slippery. A little recycled skateboard that we're going to try and clear coat and try some tape designs with. This was also shot with Createx, a water-based product. Their auto-borne sealer, some pearlized auto air products, and some custom mix of some mica powder from Eye Candy, shot in transparent base, which is their gloss clear, let's see, what is it, 40/50. So this product, so that's another way that you can shoot mica, or got some transparent base sealer from Createx. I haven't tried to shoot anything in that. Couple of badges over here from different events, and another speed shape. This speed shape has some House of Color metallic Drama Queen over at Paint Huffer, shot with a Silver Max. It hasn't been cleared yet, but let's see if we can get a little sunshine and some reflection going here. And then a little mixed up Eye Candy and some nebulae, kind of a funny sounding word, right? So basically what that is it's a colorless binder, a solvent-based product from House of Color. Something like that has a suspension agent. So if you're shooting some flake, you can mix that up in there and then lay that down over a base coat. Here's another speed shape with something like that, where you put the Paint Huffer metal flake in there and then shoot it over it. See if we can get over here without knocking over the coffee. Speaking of coffee, a little portable table. We'll try and scoot that over. So here's some metal flake. Give you that old school vibe. Another demo panel. So this could use a good sand and another coat of clear. And then let's see if we could spin around. Here's a recent plastic skull that was done with Createx FBS tape. Had a little blowout experiment going on there, so it forced us to pick up our Mac brush and try some lettering out on here. Also shot some Craig Fraser steampunk effect stencils that we used on that. Here's some more of the Drama Queen, shot on another skull that's been cleared. I'll use a couple more coats on there, as well as some Eye Candy pigments mixed up in the trans. Here's a little 3D sculpture made out of plaster from a silicone mold. House of Color base coat. Then some Eye Candy pigment chameleons mixed up in aluminolite epoxy resin. So that's how you achieve this effect. I'd like to get into making some videos showing you how these different techniques are used, as well as the products that I've used to achieve this effect. So we're still trying to figure out this whole editing game and figure out an app that works best for this with just a cell phone right now. So here's another 3D cast made out of plaster. This was done with Createx. Got some imitation copper leaf on there, and then some chunky resin. I like to use a product from Alumilite called Amazing Quick Coat. Now this has a 20-minute work time. The bottom is still undone yet, but you would use, well, I use some pigments and some resin to fill in the bottom. But back to Alumilite. Amazing Quick Coat has a 20-minute work time and then is fully cured in 6 to 8 hours, I want to say. Typical epoxy resins are 24 to 72 hours fully cured, and the work time is a little longer, maybe an hour window. Here's another plaster cast that has House of Color base coat and some eye candy pigments mixed in epoxy resin. Some ceramic tiles you can use for a base. You pick those up at Home Depot. So this has been our second video. We're trying to get out here on the YouTube. Some more custom artwork up there. Another skeleton and our paint huffer banner. If you haven't noticed, let me see if I can spin you around some more. I like to get the banners from the companies and the products that I have experience with using. Once again, there's no sponsors here, so I'm coming 100% with what I've tried to use and the techniques that I've used to try and get the effects that I've gotten with my artwork so far. So for me and the skeletons, thanks for stopping in, and hopefully we can hit the gas and do something creative together. Thanks for coming in.